What's up, Divine Collective? And I guess Karmic Phil as well, because I know you're watching. I am a little bit late on here today. Just felt like switching up the schedule. I'm switching up my schedule for the day. You know, keeps them trying to keep up and keeps me more on my feet. So, yeah, meanwhile, I was thinking about as I listened to the clicks and the ticks and watching the lights flicker at times and hearing the different rhythms and beats of my house. And I was thinking about how, for a lot of us divine collective beings, for a lot of us seers, for a lot of us that can hear certain things in different realms, for a lot of us that the world considers to be different. And at the end of the day, we're uniquely crafted by the Most High. And I was in remembrance of when I was around certain people, how they would look at me when I would hear something that they couldn't hear, or when I would see something that they couldn't see with their own eyes, and how they would give me looks of as if I'm a weirdo, or as if I'm just pretending or being somebody that I'm not. And just got me thinking, Divine Collective, that don't allow these karmic energies that refuse to overstand us, don't allow them to make you feel like you are a weirdo at the end of the day, because we're not. And at the end of the day, a lot of people choose to misunderstand us because it benefits them. They would like to portray us as being just as malicious as they are, because when they look at us, they are really reflecting themselves of who they want to be and who they refuse to work hard to be at the end of the day. And so for a lot of us that often stare off into space because we're having a download or a upload, and to those who can hear messages within music, and for those who can see hidden symbols in plain sight, I encourage you guys to just keep tapping into your unseen talents, as I would say. I remember one time, it was a few years ago, and it was late at night, and we were walking back inside the establishment we were at, I will say. And when I passed a tree, I could see a dark figure, and it went and it tucked behind the tree as if it had seen that I could see them. And I pointed it out to a couple of people that were around me. And one of them, I remember saying, well, don't acknowledge it, because if you acknowledge it, then it's just making it real in your head. Something like that. And I, at the time, had to put words carefully, because when you're a seer, you see the shadows, and you see the dark figures, and you see sometimes the entities and deities that are lurking about. And so some things, you need to use discernment and kind of just be hush hush with it, because when people really figure out who you are, they will go through great lengths and through a dark thought process, as in a way to basically try and hunt you and taunt you. And so I also embrace you to go ahead and, like I said, learn more about your super God-given talents. And I don't know, I want to word this carefully because, like I said, I know karmic field is always watching. So, at the end of the day, just make sure that you use that discernment, especially when you are trying to communicate these things to non believers, I would say, because there are a lot of non believers out there. They think that they know who God is, and God is not of human form, in human likeness. The Most High is a spirit. So the gods that they know of would be them own selves. Like I say, they have proclaimed and named themselves their own ordained gods. And a lot of them have fake certificates that they like to put up on the wall, but at the end of the day, they are not the Most High. And so, with it being in these current times and revelations, I would say, and prophecies that are here, I just really encourage you to know who you are, know whom you are, and to use those talents and gifts that the Most High has given you to go out there and be a game changer, a world changer, and to for us to be able to collab up here soon in the near future to be able to carry out the mission that the Most High has set us on. So with every click that you hear, with every light that flitters, and with even the animals that give us messages, just know that you are uniquely made, and that the things that God has given us does not make us weirdos. It makes us that much more powerful, and these entities and deities, they know that. So just stand in your own strength and in your own power, and don't allow anyone to tell you who you are when you know who you are. And I like the key words on that stone, the memories and the dreams, because we are coming back into remembrance of past time memories. And pay attention to your dreams. I know that it can be difficult sometimes. I know it is for me because, for us parentals, we have to get up and go, and we don't always have time to jot everything down. But if you can, just really hold on to those key points of your dreams and let them bring you back into remembrance of who you truly divinely are, because this is not just, our only life that we have lived. Some of us have lived many, many, many lives over and over and over again. And we've had the same spirits, demonic spirits follow us in every lifetime as well. And so now that this cycle is not only closing out, but being put to a dead, like I say, they're wanting to be more rampant and more vicious and more relentless in their pursuit of the chase of us divine magical beings. So just stay uniquely you, and use your discernment as far as who you want to know about your super magical deliciousness, I would say. So yeah, that was something that the Most High wanted me to get out. I hope that you guys have been having a great day. I appreciate the likes and the comments that come by, even if they are from Karmicville, because I can see you and you can't pull one past me. But I do appreciate those of you, for the divine ones, that do pour into my cup as far as being able to pour some wisdom out to the world. So let's go ahead and tap into the energy. And as usual, I will take whatever flies out. I know that on another note, while we're talking about cards, I know that a lot of seasoned readers out there that, one, have been paid by these so-called higher ups to manipulate the readings and all that devilish stuff. I know that they want to energetically try and of sorts be a bully, as in how a lot of us read cards differently, and there's really no right or wrong way to read the cards when you're a seer, because you're seeing and reading the cards as you see them. So there's really no right or wrong way to pull the cards or see the cards. It's how the Most High delivers the messages to you. And on the second part of that note, be careful out there with what readers you do entertain yourself with. For some of us readers, seers, we are able to decipher the karmic from the divine energy of readers. Some of us watch certain karmic readers to kind of be like a private eye spy. And so while they're trying to, be nosy all up in our business, some of us actually dig a little bit into their business as well. But I will say, for a good purpose, not for malicious intent. But for those of you who are just starting your spiritual journey and may be a little bit confused still as far as using tuition and who you watch, I will say that a lot of karmic field readers, they only stick to the love aspect of the readings, and they don't have a certain type of realness or insight as to what's really going on behind the scenes, because right now this is a spiritual warfare, and it has a lot more to do with just passion and who your next fling is going to be and who your next love is going to be. There's more insight and information that is being withheld and being covered up with and distracted with certain other topics. So I suggest that you tune in to readers that are seasoned, one, and two, that have a realness to them about the things that are truly taking place in this current time in the world. I shall. So just pay attention. All right, let's see. Got one card so far. The second one fell on the floor. All right, cards flying everywhere. Let's see what we have. It's a lot, but we'll get through it. All right. Take them how they fell out. 13:13 on the clock. Okay, so Hierophant. Religious traditions, rulers, leaders, right and wrong, programming, conforming, institutions, convention, marriage, values, faith. And that basically sums up exactly what's going on right now. It's basically a religious versus spiritual warfare, I would say. And like I said, not all religions are corrupt and evil, but like I also do say, it's a very great place for people to tuck and dodge and hide and put masks on in order to program. And that's exactly what a lot of religious and hierophants in the religious settings would like to portray themselves to be, is rulers and leaders, when basically they are leading sheep blindly off of a cliff one by one. I will say that. And so wanting to program and control and to place man-made values on a false sense of reality, and wanting to take true faith away and our connectionship to the Most High in its original form, like I have said before as well, and manipulating it and completely turning it upside down and into a devious, envious, abusive cult, coven, or religious background setting, however you want to put that. So, like I said, divine ones that are just starting your journey, I know that it can be challenging when you have grown up in a religious background, because you've been taught a certain way and you've been shown a certain way and you've definitely been told a certain way to live and to think. And right now it is the change of that, and we are having an awakening as far as who we are truly worshiping. And a lot of us grew up in a setting where we were worshiping false gods, to put it lightly and simply. And so these hierophants now, they are completely losing it right now because they've been caught and they can no longer slither and lurk about in broad daylight like how they used to. They have a flashlight completely shown on them, and I like how that the glass in the background, the painted glass, it's showing right on him. So that's exactly what's going on right now, is the enlightenment of what has been going on. On the flip side of this card, non-conforming, unconventional life choices, alternative lifestyles, freedom. Challenge the status quo, thinking for yourself. And that's exactly what they do not want. They don't want any of us to be able to think for ourselves. They want us to be robots. They don't want us to challenge them in any form or fashion. They don't want us to live different lifestyles. They want us all to do the same thing at the same times and worship the same thing and idolize the same thing. And no, it's time for freedom. It's time for those traditional decades and centuries of beliefs to be exposed, one, and two, to be questioned, and three, for there to be a choice of how we choose to walk in life, as far as walking with the Most High, not walking with these devils out here who have been completely putting blindfolds on the masses. So it's time for us to come out of conformity and to be able to think for one's own self. Ashel, and put you back. Actually, I'll keep you this way because that's how we want it. Next card, Six of Coins, strings attached. One-sided, conditional giving, subservience, unpaid debts, dependence, greed, being undervalued. And how I'm going to take this card, I'm going to take it a different way, for I do see cards and see things in different ways. And so I'm going to take this as, while we're talking about mind control by the masses, you know, when you have to depend on government assistance, is pretty much like a ball and chain effect, correct? Because it comes with paperwork, it comes with them being all up in your business and wanting to know what assets you have, and basically keeping you in a subservient state. Because at the end of the day, they know that you need the help, and they know that if you go above the means of that line of help to go out and go seek employment, that, you know, you're going to be basically cut off. It means you have to go pay for daycare, pay for everything else by yourself. And so they keep certain ones stuck in a ball and chain effect with that. And it's all about control. When I say they, I mean the corrupt government and the corrupt officials and just all the corruption. And so, like it says strings attached, and they want us to have those cords attached to them so that we can't get away, and so that we can't be able to stand on our own and be able to be free thinkers and be able to be doers. So on the flip side of this card, giving and receiving, generosity, balance, kindness, accept, equal, give and take, care, being valued, quid pro quo, all about that reciprocity. And so that's what a lot of us divine beings, we want to do. We want to find a way to have an equal give and take, to be able to have that balance and be able to just have some kindness and generosity in the world. I mean, air is free, water is free, growing fruits and vegetables is free. And while we're speaking of that, it would be nice to get the female seeds back from the produce so that we can actually have some real food around here. Because I don't know about y'all, but the gift of some real actual food would be very much appreciated. But anyway, yeah, it's all about the feeling valued. And, it's okay for these higher ups, so-called higher ups, to feel like they are at the top and that they are the MVP and that they're the greatest of all time, all that stuff that they think they are. But at the end of the day, they want to downplay and shame and manipulate and control and steal and unalive and destroy everything. And it's time for some true balance, and it's time especially for divine chosen beings that have been sought after, for us to be able to be valued and seen as being valued, and not as the karmics that you guys really are. And so it's time for us to be appreciated. A lot of us that are seen at the bottom of the totem pole, we're seen as lazy and we don't do anything. And is really messed up, because the ones at the top are really just lazy and fat and don't do anything for themselves, while the little ants are doing all the work. And that needs to stop. It's time for them to receive gifts and to receive positions of higher status. It's time for them to stop being able to go on these fancy trips and to be able to eat this expensive food, and just the whole corrupt, just sinful nature of these corrupt deities, entities. It's time for them to stop receiving presents for being demonic, period. And it's time for us to be able to receive the gifts from the Most High that are being poured upon us right now. And it's time for us to be allowed to be able to move freely within mind, body, and soul without having that conviction. We would like the gift of peace, a lot of us, and that's priceless. So I'll say that. And I'm just going to leave that card on there because I'm rant and raving, and I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, that's the energy of what's really going on about right now is divine collective. We're tired of the shenanigans, and it's time for us to be able to live and be able to live in the manifestations of our riches at this time. I shall. Next card. Hangman. Resisting surrender. Uncertainty, delayed tactics, resist, stalling, lack of focus, hold on. Or on hold. And that's what's going on with the power trip, is a lot of these karmics and people in places of so-called power, they want to hold on to that power and they don't want to let go. And they're also resisting their karma right now, and they're trying to run away from what is due to them. On the flip side, new perspective, aha moment, awakening, surrender, epiphany, release, let go, allow, yield. And that's exactly what they need to do, is release us and let us go and allow us to have our awakenings. And they need to be able to have an awakening and see things from a different perspective and find those aha moments as to why they are who they are and how they act and why they do the things they do. But until they do that, they are in a hangman position, as you see. Next card, the devil. Unhealthy patterns, physical or emotional abuse, negative karmic connections, toxic, energetic implants, codependency. That's exactly what a lot of us have escaped or are escaping. And if you haven't yet, I We'll continually be praying for you to find that strength within your feet to be able to go ahead and get out of that situation, and allow the Most High and your ancestors to protect you while you are getting out of that situation. A lot of these entities and karmics out here, they don't want us to be independent, and at the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. And because they don't want us to be independent, some of us that do have stronger voices and a little bit more power in our punches, they would love to keep us in physical and emotional abuse, and it's no. Those days are over, and it's time for negative karmic connections to be severed, to be cut, and to be completely burnt and thrown in the trash. Toxicity has to stop. The devil, strings attached, things that grip you, the shadow self, materialism, restriction, obsession, addiction, can also represent sexuality and X. So, and I'm going to put this sideways, I guess, a little bit because I don't want to get punished on here. So, let's see if there we go. Things that grip you. So yeah, a lot of karmic people come with karmic attachments, and you get caught up with those attachments, and you will find yourself, you know, feeling restricted all the way around. I don't know how to make this card. I'm just gonna take it out and I will just hold it for myself. But it's really important to not only take a look at people around you, but also to take a look at your dark shadow side to see why you have been allowing these situations to go on and swirl on around you. At the end of the day, like I said, there's a lot of ball and chain effects, because a lot of these so-called higher ups don't want us to be independent on our own and free thinkers and such. They have hooked us up with the ball of chain of whether it be Uggs, whether it be lust, whether it be materialism, whether it be status quo, clout, whatever devil may adhere to those situations. And a lot of people see the devil as also a solid form, but the devil is spiritual as well. And so a lot of us are devils to ourselves, a lot of us are devils to others, and until you look at that shadow side, you will continue the devilish ways. I shall. So it's time for restrictions to be broken on all sides, on divine side and for your karmic field side as well. I shall. Next card, we have Nine of Cups. A hollow feeling, self-indulgent, materialism, selfish, imbalance, addiction, emptiness, overindulgent, excess. Exactly what I just said. So confirmation for that. A lot of people like to indulge in having a lot of people around them. They are a hoarder of people, and they like to have an assortment of people, a whole chocolate box full of different people, and they're not just satisfied with one, and especially not their own self as being one. So a lot of people have been selfish out here and wanting more and more and more, having that shiny object syndrome. And at the end of the day, what do they really feel? They feel empty. They're not pouring anything productive or positive into their cups. They're pouring those toxicities and those different kinds of devils into their cups, and they are drinking the devil's Kool-Aid, basically. And so now they're feeling even more hollow, I would say, because one, they never found anything to fill them up in a divine way, and two, they're feeling hollow because they know that they can't continue on with the shenanigans anymore. So on the flip side, Nine of Cups, emotional fulfillment. For us, we're feeling completely content. Our wishes are coming true. We're feeling good, feeling happy. We're feeling full, satisfied. I think about Erykah Badu and her song when she's talking about, I've brought some food for you, not the kind that you eat, And that's exactly what a lot of us divine beings get full off of the Most High and what the Most High has for us set in stone each and every day. Basically, the manna, angel food. And so we find contentment with our spirit team. Our Three of Cups is, well, it's a Nine of Cups, but as you see, it's three. Our third parties come with fulfillment and with the satisfaction of feeling completely content and feeling joyful at this time. It's a really good feeling. And so, like I say over and over again, you have to dodge those spiritual happy hater bullets, because every time you feel yourself rising with good feelings, that's just as much as they would like to bring you down. So continue to divine feminines and masculines, continue to allow the Most High to keep pouring into your cups, because nothing else can completely satisfy you. Ashe. Eight of Coins. Dedication to the craft. Detailed speciality, sticking to it, self-employed, achievement, work, mastery, committed. And that kind of ties into what I was saying at the beginning, which is we are handcrafted by the Most High. And infinitely, that's that 8. And so while the Most High was dedicated to crafting us and still is dedicated to crafting us, because we are all growing and healing beings. We do so each and every day. Now we are able to be our own bosses. And I love that. We're seeing achievement through the work that we're putting in, and also finding mastery within it. And that's also what I was saying, is fine-tuning those things that you can't see and those things that you can't hear, and fine-tuning yourself in the craft of your abilities as far as in the spiritual realms. And also while you're doing that, you know, it takes the physical work here in the spiritual realms to be able to have an overall achievement of spiritual and physical. So allowing those spiritual things to trickle down into physical form and manifest in physical form. That's what a lot of us are doing right now. We're taking the things that we hear from the uppers, and we're allowing ourselves to use our hands and our feet and our mouths, and being able to master what we are pursuing. And for a lot of us that are just beginning, it can be a little bit frustration. It could be a little bit frustrating, because it might not go how you see it going, or it might not be going how you want it to go, but just allow yourself to trust in the ebb and flow, as I say, and just allow yourself to go with the waves. It's not going to be perfect each and every time on the first time. Things take time, and so give yourself patience and allow yourself to, while you're going through that and sticking to it, allow yourself to just freely flow within it. Everything that is meant to be, and everything that you are wanting to manifest in your life will manifest right at the right time. And you can always trust in the Most High, because the Most High has the masterpiece of hands when it comes to crafting things and creating things. So just know that you are very specifically detailed, and you're very special. So just keep moving forward and stay committed. Ashe. Last card. Companionship. Let's see. 2 of Cups. Unhealthy attachment. Rescuing, caretaking, enabling, clinging, seeking approval, codependency. And that's exactly what I was saying. And this 2 of Cups can be for not just a person. This could be for things around you, and for those resources that you might need out there at this time. The government would like to say that they're rescuing us and that they're doing us a favor and that they're taking care of us, but at the end of the day, it really just keeps us stuck in it. Keeps us having to seek for their help. So and that can go for especially exes and family and co-workers. If you've already left the scene, now they're wanting to extra be clingy, and wanting to be codependent on us now. And so we have to learn that those unhealthy attachments cannot cling on any further or anymore, because we would be enabling them. It's time for them to find their own independency within themselves and have a codependency within the duality of themselves. Rachel. And for us, Two of Cups, a loving exchange, companionship, mutual feelings, new partner, agreement, and sync. And that companionship, for a lot of you divine beings, is going to be in the romance department. And so congratulations on that. And for others, it's going to be companionship within work and, new partnerships and agreements and finding your tribe and being in sync with those that are alike with you and same-minded as you and reciprocal like you, because at the end of the day, it's all about breaking out the matrix. And so that Two of Cups represents you and your other divine tribe, I would say, and us being able to collab and partner up and be able to be in sync, which a lot of us are. For a lot of the looky-loos out there, they definitely do notice that the Trillville readers that are day one since A1s, that are pretty much sergeants in the tarot reading land, they definitely can see that the messages, they resonate, and that they are they sound alike in a lot of the readings, and they have the same storyline going on. And so that's just a symbol of us being in sync and hearing those fine-tuned sounds in the spiritual realms. And because of that and hearing those synchronicities, we are in sync. And so I love that for us. So continue to, first and foremost, stand in agreement with yourself and within the duality of yourself. Because, and I like this card because, we are all masculine and feminine.